What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of A Gamer's Mic. And of course, I got a special guest like always, my buddy right next to me, iicemann85. What's going on, Iceman?
Good. How are you, man? How are you?
Doing good. Can't complain, man. Obviously, one of the, one of my closest streamer friends in our circle ever since what Mixer? We've known each other.
Yeah, it's been a
So,
long
so
time. Mixer times, man.
long time
Wow.
overdue to have you on this podcast, man. I'm excited to have you, and I'm excited to hear some of these questions answered, honestly.
Thanks
But
for having me over, man. I appreciate you thinking about me. And, like I said, we've been friends for a long time. And you asked me, I'm like, definitely,
yeah,
absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
yeah, I know. It's been a while because I asked you a while ago, months ago, about it, and you're like, "Yeah, of course I would come on." And then it got pushed back. Obviously, some COVID happened, and everything, and then we kind of got busy. But glad to have you on finally, man. I'm excited. The one question that I always ask my guests, the very first question I have, is how did you get started gaming?
Oh, man. Putting my age out there now. So, um, I remember the Atari coming out, and I remember having an Atari. If you guys don't know what an Atari is, it's really, really one of the first systems that really was really bad. Actually, at that time, it was really
Yeah.
bad. But we enjoyed it as kids. Basically, just a knob and two buttons. That's it. Um, I started playing on the Atari. Didn't really play it that much. The game that I played a lot was E.T. and Pitfall. The two games that I played all the time. Um, and this was obviously, being in a family of six siblings, we
Wow.
didn't get it till years later, right?
Right.
So Nintendo was out when we were playing the Atari. So
Wow.
I started playing since Atari time, man, and I was hooked ever since.
Ever
It
since,
was
so
it
so
was a
you were a
blast.
gamer literally as soon as Atari was there, like you were grinding competitive, like you were you like competitive with your siblings by playing Atari?
Yeah, so there's another game called ping pong. It's just a ping
Yeah,
pong, basically two blocks and a ball. So that was one of the games that we played all the time to be the best. With the big brothers and the big
right.
sisters. So yes, competitive since day one.
Figured, man. That's it's always in the gamer's blood. Like you're a little competitive, no matter what. Even if you're playing with a friendly game, you still want to win the game. But um,
Right.
another question before we get into the rapid fire is how did you get your gamer tag? I'm curious. I think you might have told me this, but just for the fans' perspective, throw it out there.
So I'm a big superhero fan. I've been a big superhero fan since I was a kid. Of course, I loved X-Men, and one of my favorite character was Iceman.
Yep.
Okay, so he was the cool guy. He was literally the guy. And that's how it first started off with. And with the age, I started watching Top Gun.
Hmm.
I love Top Gun. Iceman, dude, like just being a badass jet fighter is so cool. So
Yeah.
it's kind of 50-50. It's got the character from X-Men and then also the character that played on Top Gun. So that's where that mixed in
Cool.
come together.
Yeah. Did you so was it like your first time putting Iceman like as like you want to be called Iceman? Was that like on the 360? Like when was the first time like you started like telling people your gamer tag like, "Hey, I'm Iceman, like nice to meet you."
So 360 was the first time I ever played multiplayer online.
Right.
So that's when I actually said, "Hey, gamer tag's gonna be Iceman." You know.
Yeah.
Um, so I've always had that since day one, man. Always.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm ready to get into the rapid fire if you are.
Let's go.
So the only thing about the rapid fire is if you don't know the question, we can skip it, go back to it, and we'll come back to it if we need to. So, you ready?
Let's go.
All right, rapid fire with Iceman. Let's go. I'm excited. All right, favorite all-time system.
Ah, NES.
NES. Favorite all-time game.
A 1985 TMNT on the NES.
There you go. What game were you best at?
Best game. We're gonna have to pass on that one for now.
Okay. All right. What do you have to have while you're gaming? Like for me, I gotta have a drink by me, man.
gotta have my fan, bro. I'm a fat boy, so I need to have
Okay.
my fan. My fan's always right beside me, man.
Yeah.
And so I have fan. That's number
Okay.
one.
Fan. That's the first time I heard that yet. But I do know some people who are also they have to have the fan next to them.
Right.
Most underrated game.
Uh, 1985 Kung Fu Nintendo.
Okay. Hey, I've not. I don't even know that game, so that is
Oh,
definitely
dude,
underrated, man.
fun game.
Okay. Um, what's your favorite part about Xbox Live? Like just the general connection with everybody. Like, what's your favorite part about it?
Fellowship. Fellowship.
Fellowship. Okay.
But
Uh,
nobody can understand how to interact with somebody and get to be friends with somebody that you've ever seen in your life. You
yeah.
literally have to meet that person. I just fit. You can't see them physically, of course, but you gotta just learn who they are. You get along, and just the fellowship, the gaming, man. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, we'll go back on that because I always like talking about like meeting people over the internet, not even just internet. Like obviously we know what we look, each other look like and stuff, but
Right.
meeting each other like in person and stuff is always a fun time, and But we'll go back to that too. What's your favorite? Are you into sports? Like, do you have any sports teams that you have any favorite on?
So growing up, I grew up playing soccer. I was a goalie playing in soccer, and then from my 8th grade year all the way to my senior year, I played football. I'm a football
Okay.
player, football fan. I'm about to get roasted for it, but I'm an old school Dallas Cowboys fan, man.
Okay.
Emmitt Smith, Deion Sanders,
Yep.
Pro Aikman, old school. So the new one, I'm still a hardcore fan. So
Yeah, there you go. Hey, man, once a fan, always a fan. I like it. Hey, I mean, shoot, I'm a Panthers fan. We're not having the best past couple seasons either.
right.
So, I know you're an Apex fan. What's your favorite gun in Apex?
My favorite gun in Apex would probably be the 301. It's
Okay,
just
yeah.
well balanced.
So I love it. It reminds me of the ACR back in like MW2, like that kind of just where there's no really recoil on it. It's just a dart.
It's
Like
a beam. It's a beam.
yes, it's a beam. That's exactly
Absolutely.
laser. Favorite Power Ranger.
Oh, Red Ranger, bro. Jason all the way.
He
Jason.
got it behind him. Look at
Uh,
it. There you go.
Red Ranger, brother. Red
Let's
Ranger.
go.
All the way through.
Favorite game as a kid.
Favorite game as a kid? Any of the Turtles game. I'm a big Turtles fan. From Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube. Also, it kind of goes up there with Star Fox.
Yes.
So those two of them are like really
Yeah.
close. Really close.
All right, last question. What's something new that you have been into lately? Like, what is something that's kind of been like piquing your interest as of lately? Not just as a streamer, but it could just be a hobby or, anything.
So, many years ago, I started trying to, dip my toe into comic book collection. I did it, my first comic books that I bought was probably like 3, 4 years ago. And then I stopped for a long time.
Hmm.
And then just recently, within the past year, I've been really in it, grinding it, going out there and looking for, gems and all these, like antique stores and flea
Yeah,
markets and just
I
any
love it,
store. So
bro. The
comic books,
grind.
bro. Comic books.
I do the same thing with my sports cards, man. Like anytime that I get to have an opportunity just to go and look. I mean, it's
Right.
always fun seeing that piece of art, and that's the same thing with
Yep,
comic books. So
absolutely.
I can definitely understand. What was the one that we got to go back to?
Best game, I think the game I was good at.
Well, yeah, what game were you best at?
You know what? Thinking about it, probably Smash Brother Melee.
Oh, nice. We
I'm
need
a
to have an
Mario,
old school tournament or
Mario.
something like that. Have some
I was a
Smash Bros.
Mario
Tournament.
Mario fan, bro, all the
Yeah,
way. Yep.
awesome. Well, that's it. You completed rapid fire. There you go. That was it. The
We
smoke
shot it out
cleared.
quick. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
man, you killed it. But yeah, man, going back to the Xbox Live thing, man, I really there's been a lot of people who I've met over just on Xbox and met in person, same thing, great. I mean, I don't know, man. I really enjoy the camaraderie that Xbox brings, and then meeting them in real life, like Elite Shot. I'm sure you know him. Like that's someone who I've never met in person yet. But he's talking about I'll drive over there to North Carolina, meet you guys. Like, and that's now a thing. It used to never be a thing. It used to be this like they're strangers. They're not straight, but not to us. Like
Right.
we talk to these guys every single day, more than possibly like your friends IRL in real life. So, what's kind of your take on that? Like, have you met anybody from like Xbox or anything in real life yet?
Um, no, not really. Person that I've actually became just he's like my brother now. I met him on actually first Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 on 360.
Yeah.
His name is Night Shadow, but his name is Andrew.
Yep.
So Night Shadow for me has been a brother from another mother, man. We played games since 360, and we kind of like lost touch, and then all of a sudden on Xbox One, we kind of for some reason met again.
Yeah.
And that I know his personal life, I know his family, I know his kids. My kids play with his kids online, and so that's my brother. So that's one thing that I would say, that if you're not a gamer, you don't understand this. You don't
Yeah.
understand it at all. That it's not just just a bunch of fat people just playing video games. It's not about that, man. It's about I create relationships with people that I've never
Yeah.
met in my
It's
life,
real.
and yeah, absolutely. And like, it's harder for you to create a relationship or a friendship with somebody over a mic and
Hmm.
personally.
Yeah.
So if you have not if you don't game, it's a different language. So I have great people that I've met. I have another friend, name is Miss Blazing. She's from Canada, and
Yep.
dude, she's my girlfriend basically. She's a really good friend of mine, and she knows everything about me as well. And
Yeah.
you just the fellowship, man. That
For
is what's
sure.
more important, most amazing to do. That you can get to meet people that you never met, and you just if you like a game, that's one thing that you guys share, and then you just
Right.
build up on that. So it's lovely,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah, man, I love it, and it's like I met people in real life and stuff. Like I went to that Halo tournament not too
Right,
long ago in Raleigh. Thank God it was just a 3 hour trip for us. So me and my boy Y Bobby drove down, and I found out that one of the guys who another fellow streamer was there working. I was like, dude, we gonna have to meet up. Like this is awesome. We actually finally get to meet each other, and that's what we did. We took a picture. We had a good time. And like he was telling me that was his first time like actually meeting somebody from his stream and stuff. And like it's just a cool feeling to finally like that's being normalized now. And I
right.
feel like back in the day, like it was like, yeah, I just know these people on Xbox, but it's you never wanted to expand it. But now it's like it's a thing. Did you guys like? Are you gonna plan something to ever meet up or
Yeah, we've been talking about it for the past couple of years. Because he's in Michigan,
yeah,
so he's like 17 hours away from me. I'm in
yeah,
Texas, so but yeah, we've been talking about it. I think it's gonna be this year or latest next year.
yeah? For sure,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
and
obviously, COVID happened and stuff, so
right,
pushed a lot of things back and
yeah.
stuff. So, um, but you're also a streamer, and one thing that I kind of want to talk to because I really haven't got too many stream. I have had a few streamers on the podcast, but something like a deep dive into streaming is like, man, do you ever get burnt out on streaming? Is that a thing, or have you ever like what's your thoughts on that?
So you been personally get burned out? No, because it's a hobby. Created a
Yeah,
business. If you create a business, create it like a job,
yeah,
and you get burned out because you have to be there. Okay?
yeah,
It's like an 8 to 5. You wake up Monday to Friday and you 5. So if you stream every day, it's fine. Everybody streams different. Everybody has their own
yep.
life differently. But when it becomes a job and you won't stream, or you might stream, but it won't be as genuine as you want it to
It
be.
won't be enjoyable.
No, absolutely. So you you portray that to your audience. You portray that to your followers, your family,
Yeah.
your community. Come in there and you can just tell that you're not really in it. That's when, if it becomes a job for me, then I will step away.
Yep.
And because my mental health, physical health has to be number one before anything.
Right.
So, no, I have never said, "Hey, have I taken breaks?" Absolutely. For that reason why. I started like, "Oh, I'm kind of tired of doing it." You know,
Yeah.
because I used to do it every day when I first started every day, and I
Yep.
started like educating myself. That's number one. You have to educate yourself anything you do in life. So, I go see fellow streamers, and then got to get advice from other people. So that's why I created a schedule that I feel like it's enough time for breaks between those days. And when I come back, I feel like I want to do it. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm fortunate enough that I never got burned out.
I've got burnout one time in streaming, and it wasn't from streaming because I, like you said, it's a hobby. It's something that I get to talk to people like in my chat. You know, we're just having a good conversation. But the only time that I actually got burnt out was running too many tournaments in a
Mm,
week. And it was just because it was just too much. I was producing, I was casting, I was doing a bunch of stuff, but I just loaded my schedule a little bit too heavy. And once I saw myself doing that, I'm like, why am I doing that to myself? Why can't I just sit back, maybe every other week run one? And that's what I'm now doing. And man, it's helped so much. So like for
yeah,
anyone who's out there struggling with like, man, like it's like I said, if it's feeling like a like 9 to 5 job, that's not it. Like remember the reason why you started. And if you're starting
right.
it for money, like it's not gonna be good. It's not, because if you're chasing money, that it's just, I don't know, man.
Not good for you.
It's not good for you. It always, in your head you're always tell yourself that the grass is greener on the other side, but you got to enjoy the experience of streaming,
Right, right.
because if you're not enjoying it the start, why are you going to enjoy it with you have more people there? It's not going to make a difference. But
It's like you consider saying like it's gaming. It's called
yeah.
gaming for a reason. You know, it's not called jobbing because I mean you're not gonna go in there and start playing games. Basically, feel that way that have to play games.
Yeah.
I I can be competitive into, but when I get to a point I feel like I'm not enjoying myself, then I can't play this game anymore.
So
So
like for someone who's like just starting out, they got the bare minimum viewership, including them themselves being maybe 1 to 3 viewers and stuff. And sometimes we have that, which
yep.
but which and this is hopefully giving them relief. Like what is your like advice to someone who's just starting out and is like just now started?
First of all, the first question you need to ask yourself: what do you want to get out of it?
Right.
Okay. Number one is: are you trying to make yourself money? Are you trying to get popular or famous?
Mhm.
Are you doing this for fun? So, so if you're in the mentality of, hey, I want to get my job and do this full time,
Yeah.
that's the mentality you have to have.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a grind. But for me, like me, I say this is a hobby. So, absolutely. Do I want 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 people watching me? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I
Of
don't,
course.
it is what it is. Do
Exactly.
I want to make some money if I can? Absolutely. But that's not my priority. My
Yeah.
priority is to have fun and create that good environment that anybody can come in and relax and chill. That's what's important. So, first of all, what do you want? Okay.
Yeah.
Business treated like a business. Okay. Gonna grind? Absolutely. You gotta have to, you know, first of all, networking.
Yeah.
Networking is fun. But don't do that sleazy networking that people that go into other people's streams, try to like, say, hey, I'm about to stream too, blah blah blah. I play this game too.
The
That's the dirtiest thing you can ever do.
everyone knows though. That's the thing is people know when you're being genuine, and
That's right.
people can see through the bullshit, because a lot
That's
of,
right.
like you said, man, there is a lot of people who will just come into the
Sure.
stream, type maybe one sentence, you answer it, they don't respond, like they're not there. Like now, and I'm not saying for the lurkers who pop in just showing
All
some
right.
love, getting the view, but for the ones who are like, yeah, I'm streaming too, come follow me, blah blah, that kind of stuff is, it's not gonna get you anywhere, because those people who join and enjoying your stream, like, it's just because you said, hey, I'm streaming, like, what is that gonna do?
Right.
So I mean, yeah, you definitely got to have it for the right reasons. I definitely like that advice, is like, what do you want in streaming? Is it for fun? Is it for hobby? Like, are you trying to show off your skills? Are you thinking
Right.
you're entertaining enough to where you can entertain those people? Like, I'm somebody who I feel like I can be competitive at some stuff, but that's not my goal. I rather be entertainment, enjoy, have the camaraderie with my friends and stuff, and we just kind of have that circle.
That's right.
And I feel like people who join, like somebody like Pulse, shout out to Pulse, who always comes to my stream and just watches, and he's like, hey man, there's Blaze in there, I'll talk to Blaze, or Golden Guy who comes in, he's just like, what's going on, Menace? Like, it's real. So
Right.
I feel like for those people who are trying to, get those free views, or those, those quick followers and stuff, that it's never gonna work out that way. Um, so always be genuine, be true to yourself, be true to your viewers. For sure. I mean, any other tips that you maybe like when you started out that you didn't really understand until now? Because I mean, we both been streaming for a long time.
Absolutely. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't put an act on. Don't try to. If you're not funny, don't try to be funny because forcing yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the type of person. Just be you. Number one, be you, and people are going to show up for you because
Yep.
you got to understand. You can be a great player, have great gameplays. What if one day you become just trash? All of a sudden, they're not going to come for that. So you build your
Yep.
community on that. You need to build a community you. You need it
Right.
that likes you because or likeness of you. Oh, you like this game? Absolutely, it's great. But you have to build that community that follows you, not your
Exactly.
games, not your gameplays, not what you say, who you are, because those are always going to be there.
Yep.
Even if, like, for example, the biggest issue with me when I went and built my community on Mixer and moved over to Twitch,
Yeah.
probably a 20% came over.
Mm-hmm.
That 20% are the real ones, the
Yep.
ones that liked you for you,
That's right. That's
enjoyed
the ones that you
you.
want. Yep.
Correct. You don't want those other half that never showed up. They just showed up for whatever reason, hung out, wanted to play with you to say,
That's
"Hey, I was on stream." This guy, have their name out there, or any of those reasons, multiple
that's
reasons
my biggest
can go
pet
down.
peeve for viewers who come in and and I don't mind it, but I feel like sometimes but also I feel like a lot of times they're kind of just younger viewers and they don't
Yep.
understand, like
Yep.
11,
Absolutely.
12 year olds kind of hop in, they're like, I added you on Xbox, I'm like, appreciate it, man, like I let them know I appreciate it and everything, and I, depending on who it is, and if they've been in the stream for a while, then I'll add them back, and maybe we'll play. But for the people who just pop in, add, it's like, okay, let's just play today. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm never, like, I'm playing with my boys right now. I was like, but
Right.
I appreciate, um, but it's like that. I cannot stand whenever people come in and just assume that they're just gonna be in a game with you. I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to have a good time, trying to stream. But do you ever have that happen? I'm sure it's not just me.
Oh. Oh yeah, and the thing is, we're genuinely good people, so we try to like not try to be
Yeah,
mean about it, and we try to like, yeah, okay, appreciate it, thank you for
yeah,
following, or thank you for adding me on Xbox. Yeah, oh, absolutely. When State of Decay 2 came out, we had, and I grind that game day in and day out, and every Saturday we had team community day, so you're able to come join us. You have people in there and just basically want to come in there and just to play that day.
yeah,
Never showed up, and then all
yeah,
of a sudden, you don't see them for the rest of the week until Saturday. Saturday come around, they come around.
yeah.
Or hey, let's trade stuff, trading and stuff like that.
Oh, that's huge.
Absolutely, have you, and that's what you're gonna get in this industry. You're gonna get
Yeah,
that. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get people that come in there that just want to better themselves off of you, and
for
that's just,
sure.
and you're gonna learn how to, dictate who is that right person, who's the person that wants to do that, by just with experience. With people that come in there.
100%, because I feel like
Absolutely.
when you first start out, like, you don't really know, because that's just a person coming in, you don't know, you're not used to it, and then whenever it happens and you kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, join the party, and then it happens and you're like, damn, they were just here to bump
Hmm.
up their stuff or their status or whatever they're trying to do. But like you said, over time you'll experience, you can pick those guys out
Yeah,
easily now. Like, I
easily.
feel like
Yep.
someone type in the chat, I'm like, all right, man, I appreciate you coming out, but obviously in my back of my head, I'm like, I don't. There'd be a guy, I don't know. Like I said, there's like younger viewers obviously that happen, and they'll message me and they're like, "Can I join your party? I don't have a mic though." And I'm like, "What's the point of
Mhm,
joining the
mhm.
party if you're
Right.
watching the stream? You're hearing all of what we're saying." Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I was like,
A
"Hey,
lot of
man,
them.
I let them know." But either way, there's one thing that I heard not too long ago, and it really sparked my interest, and I want to see like what your take is on this. Um, I heard one of a pretty big Twitch streamer. I don't remember who it was. The advice came from, but they were saying you don't grow while you're live, and
Mhm.
that really stuck with me, because I think it's very true. I
It
feel
is.
like, yeah, because the like you were saying earlier, networking is huge. Not from just Twitter, Instagram, TikTok if you have one. I don't have one anymore. I had to delete that because of goodness. But but yeah, it just is networking, getting people in and out. And I feel like when you're live, yeah, obviously the people are coming, but you're not really pulling too much. You don't get discovered as much as what you could be maybe back in the day on Twitch. Now it's a whole nother world. You got to go through social media. So do you like agree with that, or what's your take on that?
Well, absolutely, because you got to understand the Twitch platform is saturated
Mm,
streamers. Okay, you got to understand have streamers that have thousands of people watching them.
yeah,
So, say you're streaming Apex, and top streamer is streaming 100,000 people. And then if you look at that's what which is good about, you can look at the numbers who's
yeah,
watching certain categories. So if that guy has 100,000 viewers,
hmm,
there's only 100,000 and 100,005 people watching that category. You gotta understand there's only 5 people that you're potentially gonna be able to stream
right,
watching that stream. So absolutely, your growth is offline
yeah,
because you're out there posting videos on Instagram, posting videos on Twitch, doing tweets on Twitter, excuse me, um,
hmm,
YouTube. Your networking is what you do. You funnel them into your Twitch.
yep,
Okay, you post your clip of this game. Hey, this game was from last night. 4K damage, 15 kills. Come check me out on Twitter. I
yeah,
mean Twitch, excuse me.
Twitch, yeah,
So that's the thing. That's the thing is that you're gonna go ahead and use these other platforms because they're not as saturated with that categorized of gaming. There's-
yep,
On all these other platforms, people are watching that just not for gaming, for
right,
entertainment. So they catch one of your clips. Oh man, that was cool. That was exciting. I wonder what he does. And then you go in there. Of course, you have your link for everybody. So a lot of mine, I would say 75% of my followers come off stream, boosting
for sure.
stuff up, network. That's what it is. That's why you say networking.
I mean,
Maybe
it all
five
comes
years ago.
down. It all comes
Absolutely.
down. I mean, and we see it happening all the time. You retweet
Right.
something of mine, like I'll be running a tournament. You retweet it, and maybe three people that see it
Exactly.
from your followers see that, and they might want to join. They're like, "Wow, I'm a Halo fan.
Right.
I want to join that tournament or Apex fan, whatever tournament I'm running." And Ice retweets that or whatever. That helps me out, and then same thing, vice versa. We're doing the same thing.
Right.
But you just never know what post is going to connect with somebody. And
Right.
one thing that I'll give big credit to my wife is like she's big on social media. She's like, anytime she can post anything, like I told her, like basically whenever you have somebody that connects with people, then they send it to their friends. You know, like so as of recently, I don't know if you saw this week, I kind of was with me and my boy Menace. My boy Menace was hitting the like chilling out, and you know, he was dancing and stuff. So I put him
Mhm.
on
Right.
Instagram, and you know, and it started clicking with everybody. They're like, dude, I love this, I love this. So, and you know, that could be your content. But yeah, it's
Exposure.
funneling in from Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So whenever you go live, yeah, depending on how many views you got, maybe if you're the top percent, people are clicking on the people in the top.
Correct.
So yeah, you can get people like that. But for newer streamers or for even average streamers who are still pulling like decent numbers, they're still not gonna get noticed from Twitch because
Right.
usually when you hop on Twitch, you already know who you're gonna go to,
Right.
or whoever you're following. Like, oh, Ice is on. I'm gonna go watch him now,
Right. Right. Right.
rather than somebody that I haven't even discovered.
Never seen. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one big thing that really stood out to me. That I was just like, you know what? That's a really big statement. I want to talk to another streamer about and just kind of see like your take on that. But I agree with it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big thing. Networking is very important because you're going to establish yourself. Once you're established, people already know, hey, they're already following you. So when
Yep,
you go live, they know that you're live. So if you have 50 people watching you, they already know that you're going live. So they're going there and watch you. If you have nobody, they don't even know who you are. They don't have
exactly.
no clue who you are. That's why you network your name. That's why you network your name and you network out there in all the different platforms. It's just like in life, like millionaires have multiple incomes. not just from one part,
Exactly.
multiple
Different
income.
sources.
So different sources, vice versa. And your streaming aspect, you want to do multiple sources, put your name out there.
Yeah, for sure, and 100% agree. One thing I want to pick your brain on is, man, you have all these great ideas. I always see, I mean, like you're streaming from on Mondays. Like we got Morphin Mondays. We're watching Power Rangers. Where do you get these ideas? Are you just thinking of them, or does anyone like mention them to you? Because obviously, you when you separate yourself like that, I think that's huge, man. I really do, because like you watching Power Rangers, like you're not even playing a game. It's on Twitch. You're watching something. You got your community around you watching, and we're all having a blast. Like
Absolutely.
that is exactly what I think about being a streamer is like thinking outside the box. Let's all come together, and it might not be about Rocket League tonight. We're gonna be watching some Power Rangers, but come and chill. We're just hanging out and having a good time. So where's your like ideas coming from, and how did you get these ideas of having the morphin time and watching maybe some old school stuff, or did you maybe get it from some other?
So the way I think about stuff, and it's almost in general, just in life period, you always got to step outside the box.
For sure.
Sometimes it might not be your comfort zone, but if
Hmm.
you don't step out, guess what? You never know if you did a good thing or not. So
Right.
the Morphin Mondays to me is a is something that I sat there and said, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and just watch. Well, I'm watching it, so why don't we just the
Let's just
community
all watch
watch
it.
with me?
Yeah.
I'm an older person. I'm 36 years old, so I was like 8 years old watching watching Turtles, Power Rangers,
Yeah.
SWAT Cats, all these shows that maybe you didn't watch it as a kid and you have no clue what's going on. So
Right.
you come in here and say, "What is this? Oh my, these guys are cool." And that now piques your interest, and now you can go watch it offline or when you're not watching me and get you into it. And like, it's just that that camaraderie with the community is what I
For
love.
sure.
When I hear people say like, "Oh, it's Morphin Monday,"
Let's go. That's
like on
me. That's
Discord,
me,
and let's
man.
go,
That's
like,
me and
yeah, like
Static.
yeah, Static's like the same way. And like last week, I wasn't gonna stream. I was like kind of tired and all this stuff, and I put on Discord, no, not
Yeah.
this Monday. We're not gonna do it. And then you said something. Static said something. J Money said something.
Yeah.
Princess said something. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna suck it up, and I'm gonna go ahead, just play, and let's watch it. And when I got here, guys, I got energy
For
from you
sure,
guys.
man.
Got energy. So I see multiple streamers do multiple different things and podcast, and like you do tournaments, and people also do other things. And then also the watch. They have a watch
Yeah. Like
tab.
reaction, like anything, just anything outside the box where it's not just
Right.
like playing a game. And I
Right.
feel like a lot of things for especially us, because we're variety streamers. I don't think we care what we're streaming as long as we have our friends like in there with
Right.
us having a
Right.
good time.
Right.
And that's the one thing that it's like I feel like it's easier for us to say it and stuff, but if like obviously there's a lot of times where like I know if I stream Apex I'm gonna get more viewers.
Hmm.
Do I want to play Apex right now? No, I want to have a good time on 2K right now. A bunch of friends are looking forward to playing, so I'm gonna hop on
Right.
2K. I'm gonna stream that, and obviously, whenever I do feel like playing Apex, I'll stream it and I'll get the extra viewers, which is cool. But I feel like there's a lot of people who just care about the views so much, and it kind of burns them because they could be doing this other stuff. Like,
Right.
there's a lot of people like. Um, I'm trying. I don't want to throw out names, but I'll just say there's other people who will play that one game, and it's just because they know they're going to be getting the viewers. They're peak viewers, and
Right.
they're not having a good time, and you can see it. You can see it
Right.
because they're like,
Absolutely.
I'm over this game, guys. Like, man, and then the next day they stream it again,
Yep.
and it hurt my heart hurts for them because I feel like they're trapped, but just like us, where we're saying we're like step out of your zone, man. Do your thing, be you, and I feel like it's all right. Like the real ones are gonna follow.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
big
And that's
time,
the
man.
that's the problem with being influenced from other people. That you say, hey, say for example, you follow a certain streamer and he's a big streamer and he's playing Call of Duty. You gotta understand that definitely he wasn't playing Call of Duty before he became that big.
Yeah,
Okay. The thing is and you grind the same game over and over again, and you're A, so bored of it, B, you just hate playing that game,
Yeah.
people are gonna tell. You're gonna tell that you're not really giving it 150%. So, like you say, going back to the Power Rangers on Mondays, I just get so excited, man. When Monday
Yeah,
comes
man.
around and you guys get excited, it makes
Let's
me
go.
excited. Like, man. So, and that's the thing is that it's always be true to yourself. Don't try to copy. Copying is not a good thing. Now, understanding other streamers and getting influenced by them is a whole different story.
For
Okay?
sure.
You can have multiple streamers that
I'm
you
so
follow
glad
and
you said
enjoy,
that, dude. I'm
that you
so
can
glad.
pick from them all these different,
You can
like how it's set up.
easily pick
Right,
from people, but as in don't copy 100% of what
right,
they do.
right,
I'm not
right,
going to watch Power Rangers the same exact way like you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can watch other stuff and still have the same thing. But yeah, man, be different. You can still pick what they're doing and just do different, like, and have different
right,
stakes. Like, maybe if I rewatch, let's just say, I rewatched the Power Rangers, and every time this person did this, like how many times did Jason get dropped one time or whatever, then I have to take a drink or something. Like, just
right,
stakes
right,
are different. Like,
right,
it's as long as you can think outside of the box and you can pull that from other streams, like your favorite
right,
streamers. I've heard people are like, there's no new idea. Obviously, all ideas are done, but you can
right.
always add your own personal twist, and that's kind of how, like, I see things. And exactly seeing you doing the Morphin Mondays, man, I love that, because it's like I'm looking forward to it, because
Right.
you said it on once a week. It could have been once or twice a week, whatever, but once a week, it's just like football, man. Everyone's excited for Sunday, right?
Right, right.
And that's why I feel like football is the most hyped up sport in
Yes.
United States. Is because they only play once a week, and so
Yep.
every time they play, it's the only time that they get to see them until next week. So the stakes are high. So I really like how you have set schedules for different game, maybe different games, or just watching something. So that's one thing that I would try to also tell, like, new upcoming streamers, or even streamers who are just feel like they're kind of just in a rut right now,
Right.
is try different things, and get that community to where, like you said, like Iceman's community is great, because you hop in Monday. I know I'm gonna
Mhm.
see J Money in there. I know I'm gonna see
Yeah.
Static in there. Like, and we're
All
having a
you
good
guys.
time. We're just hanging out, all watching, reminiscing about our
Right.
old
Yep.
timeline back in the
Yep.
day when we were watching as kids.
Yep.
And that's just something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
So that's what I think
Absolutely.
that is a really great idea, man. I'm always looking for the.
Appreciate it.
And also, you're about to do the giveaways once you finish.
Yes, man. I'm gonna give away the '94 original Bandai Red Ranger, and I said I was gonna do it, and I don't. It's not that I don't like giveaways.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, you kind of talked about that on stream one day on Mondays. That I feel like sometimes you have these people that come in here in your communities, come in all the time. Whenever you're streaming, they just give you show all that love and support, and then you do a giveaway. All these people show up.
Yeah.
You don't even know. Okay, they're there just strictly get a giveaway.
Hmm.
Sometimes I feel like they can get it. You know what I'm saying? The random person that showed up can get it, and
Just by the
then
chance, the luck,
just by the
luck of the
chance,
draw.
luck.
Yep.
And I feel like that's not fair.
To the
You know,
others. Yeah.
to the
Who's
other
there every
old
week
school
during.
followers. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And that's why I'm kind of really I'm torn apart with giveaways for that reason. Why I can give all my original followers community gifts and giveaways, I would do it. Okay, but we don't live in that world like that.
I would say
So
an idea on that. I mean, this is just an idea. If maybe someone shows up to maybe at least 3 Morphin
mhm.
Mondays, maybe put them on the list, and then
Yeah,
that way
it's not a
you'll
bad
have a
idea.
list. Yeah, so just. I mean, you obviously got to be kind of active on it to where you're like, okay, well, he's here. This is the 3rd time. Okay, then I'll put him down on a list, and then that way you can do maybe like a wheel spin or something, and then that way you have all the names with who showed up at least 3 times or something. That idea. I mean, like I said, you can use it if you want to, but either way, I'm with you, man, because there's a lot of time. Anytime you put giveaway in a title, you're gonna
Hmm.
attract people, but you're also attracting those freeloaders, and
Right.
it's like, man, I really don't want those people there because they're just trying to take, and they're not even really given the time. So, yeah, for sure, I see myself doing that in giveaways as well.
A little call out to Vault Attic. Vault Attic is actually another streamer as well. He's part of our NWG community. He is also this. He's like, so I would assume what he meant by his stream points. Um, I guess watch streams and you get the points, right? Obviously, we all know that.
Oh
So I
yeah.
guess that's what he means by the point system, knowing that you
Yes.
know those people are been there. If you had 100K, we know you've been in my stream
Right.
forever. But if you
That's a
have
good idea.
300 points, you just got there. I'm
Yeah.
saying, so that's not a bad idea to look at it that way.
I like
Um,
that. I like that because like how you can put it to where like 1,000 channel points for me they're called dilly dilly points. 1,000 dilly dilly points will get you to where you can change the color of my room, and that's what I
mhm.
have on there. But if you put maybe one in there for 1,000 will get you one entry into the giveaway.
Yeah,
Then
that makes
hey,
sense.
yeah,
You know,
because some people might really want it and they might dump all their points into it, and I think those are the people who should deserve to win
I
because they're
think
there all the time.
that's a good idea. I think I might do that. I might figure out a number that is, not
Yeah,
too extremely high up there
right.
and not too extremely low. Maybe like a midpoint that
Yeah,
I know that at least you've been here, say, at least 10 hours of my stream. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Just got to find
And
that number.
right, so that's something. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad
That's
idea.
a good idea, Volt. I like it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Man, when anything you want to talk about?
So talking about you being a streamer, and of course you're a family guy, and we all have lives and stuff like that. And you were saying that you get burned out. You got burned out that one time because you had
Yep.
so much going on. People have to understand that at the end of the day, guys, we all have lives
Hmm.
outside of streaming. Sometimes it's hard to try to keep everything in balance. And
For
we're
sure.
only human, and so I look at people sometimes. You sit there and come in the stream, and I know you as a streamer, you play a lot of sports games. You're a sports guy.
Yeah.
You're a sports oriented guy. That's the thing that's what you do. And I tell people a lot about, like, on me. If you see me, I don't really have a particular game set that I'm gonna play on certain games. I've changed probably within the stream, a 5 hour stream. I've changed 4 or 5 games
Yeah.
because I'm a variety streamer.
Right.
I love to play, especially say, for example, say you jump on and say, "Hey, let's play this game." I'm like, "Okay, well, my group wants to play this game. Let's do it."
Exactly.
Because it's community. We want to fellowship and
100%.
have fun together. And so I think not to sit there, you know, in the box at all times. Sometimes, like you said, think outside the box. Play a game that you probably won't never play ever again,
Yeah.
but you might enjoy it. You might enjoy it. So, the game, like, for me, the games I don't really play is like scary games. It's just not who I am.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I get more nervous than anything else than enjoying the game. So I don't try to play these scary games. And like my daughter was telling me early, um, there's a Five Nights at Freddy. It's been out for a long time. It's a jump scare game. I played it on stream for a little bit. I could not get into it enough to continue to play it. And
Yeah.
she asked me today. She's like, "Dad, can you buy Security Breach? Is the new Five Nights at Freddy game?" And like, well, I wouldn't play it. She goes, "Yeah, you would. Why don't you do it on stream?" And I'm like, "No, you seem like you want it more than me." And she's, "Yeah, Dad, I kind of want it more than you." Like, yeah. So don't be afraid to step out of that box
For sure.
and create your own community based on who you are. It's the
Yeah.
fun thing. But the question I want to ask you, so to flip it on you for a little bit, what is your game that you say hands down I can get to it, play it no matter what?
Just whatever it is. Um, as of recent, honestly, Halo, man. I've been loving
Mm.
Halo. I've been loving the cast for it, but obviously, like I never really get to join my own tournaments as of recent, which I might change. I might start a little bit dabbling into smaller tournaments where I can actually play because I still got Static to cast with me, so he can cast while I'm playing. But yeah, I don't really have like a go-to game really. I like 2K obviously with a bunch of buddies, but I have to have at least 4 to 5 people on for that game.
I was seeing you the other day. You were struggling with not having people, but
Yeah.
struggling with getting a game going.
Oh my gosh, man! If they had that 2K servers like better, I would love that game. I'd probably be on it nonstop. But goodness, it's impossible to get a game like or at least ranked game. Like you could easily hop off playing on ranked game and get it instantly, but as soon as you want to play ranked for some reason, it's impossible to get in. So, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward. Now here's games I'm looking forward to. There's the wrestling game that's coming out. They redid everything on that. And I wasn't really a wrestling fan as of now. Obviously, as a kid, reminiscing, another thing that we always like to do, going back to the days as a kid. I loved wrestling games. I played it with Bunk and Blaze as kids all the time. We always played the table ladder chair matches and stuff, and
Oh
Hell
yes,
in the Cell,
TLC. Yeah.
all those fun games. And just I remember like playing that. So now I was like, man, we're adults now. I was like, let's just run it back. Like, why not? Let's just do it again and just have a good time. So I think we're gonna get that game. I'm looking forward to
What's it
for
called?
sure. I think it's like WWE 2K22,
Oh, it's a
23.
WWE. Ah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's got Rey Mysterio on the front. He was one of my
nice.
favorite wrestlers. He's got the 619. So I'm looking forward to that. I was thinking of possibly doing a huge Royal Rumble tournament and just getting everybody and anybody in it, and we just run it and just whoever wins, gets the grand prize.
So, did you ever play the? It was on Nintendo 64. It was called WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah. I played it.
That was the greatest wrestling game ever created, guys. Ever
I
created.
loved it.
That game to me was the funnest game I ever played. But I know it's a more podcast of asking me something, but just to be so my community can get to know you a little better as well.
Okay. Yeah.
What was your first console you actually started playing on?
Oh, is PS1, I think was well no
PlayStation.
actually no, that's wrong. I used to go over to my grandma's a lot, and obviously I had older sibling or cousins and stuff, so they would always be playing like in the back playing some like old Madden or something on the Sega, and I'll always
On
want
the
to play
Sega, yes.
Sega, man. So the Sega Genesis to be exact. And I would always want to play and stuff, and they never let me. So eventually, when I got old enough, I got to play. I played some like I think it was like some street fighting game where you go through levels and then get to the final boss at the end. I forgot what that was called, but it was great. That and then obviously the sports games and all that I got to play, but I think Nintendo 64 or not Nintendo, sorry, PS1 was my very first console that I owned though. So PS1 was my very first console I owned, but the first one I played was Sega Genesis. I really enjoyed it.
So Sega Genesis for me was a really nice game system. Never owned it, but had friends playing it. But also the one that a lot of people really forget about is the Dreamcast.
Yeah, Dreamcast. Yep.
Same one. And that to me was one of the funnest one because the graphics were getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? And if you look, I used to play, and I think I might get into that again, as like you're talking about ideas. I used to do Classic Saturdays. I used to have an emulator on my computer, and I was playing Donkey Kong on the Super Nintendo. And then I was playing the Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
I need to get back into that, but what I'm saying is like it's amazing how we go from those type of graphics to the graphics now, and then for a second it goes bad, like the graphics go bad. We're like, oh, this is horrible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. But you gotta remember playing GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, and it was just polygon graphics, square with a triangle ahead, dude. We were so
you could barely like see their features really on their face and stuff. It was just kind of all of a blur. Like, is that James Bond? I think, but
is that a guy? Period.
Yeah, exactly. But back then, also, we were like, wow, man, he actually looks kind of like James Bond. Like, back then, we actually thought it was awesome because it was better graphics than what we were used to from the previous, system. N64 was my favorite, though. I know
Mm.
that wasn't asked, but N64 was my favorite because it had the different type of controller, but I love that you got the trigger on the back, and also easiest thing to fix is the Nintendo 64 game. If it wasn't broken, take it out, blow it, throw it in there, pop it in, we're good to go. That's one thing I really miss because now if your game doesn't work, it's because a file is corrupted or something. So
You know what? It's crazy that you say that. That you said like, "Hey, blow it out," stuff like that. Did you remember doing that every day when you played like the Nintendo games? You would blow, and
yep.
really, I don't think it really did anything. Tell you the truth,
It worked
I don't.
though. It
But
worked.
it worked. So I don't know if that was us thinking it was working,
I
or
don't know.
but
It was just needing a
man,
reset.
man,
Could have been.
it's amazing how um just the games, man. And to touch base with you about when we talked about Kung Fu.
Yeah.
So on the Nintendo, there was a game called Kung Fu, and it is Kung Fu. It's a side scroller game, right? You're
Hmm.
a guy that's just running, and the point is to get all the way up to the last level of the game, and you would have guys come at you, literally just fight you, and it was only kick, high punch, jump kick, and kick,
Yeah.
and then low kick. And it was
Right.
just that's it. They would run to you, and the funny thing about the game is that if you allow the way the guys basically would touch, say if they touched you like this, they would start taking health from you. They didn't even
Right.
move. They didn't even punch you. They were like vampires. It was so funny that you would able to get like five guys stacked up on you and taking your health from you.
Yeah.
So um and that game was like so underrated because it was so simple. It's hard.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
know, it was so hard because you had the time right to kick the guy in the face. But have these boss battles that I would throw knives and stuff like that, and throw these lanterns at you. So that game right there was fun, but the hardest game ever you ever played. Almost like Mega Man. If you played Mega
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
Mega
I
Man
played
was
Mega Man.
another game that was super hard because you had to make sure you killed this guy first to get his power to defeat this guy
Hmm.
and this guy to this guy. So Kung Fu guys, never played it.
That's it.
Go
I'm gonna
online,
have to play it. I'm gonna have to
Google
play
the
it.
Google the name. You see these funny. It's just this guy literally kissing you,
What
sucking your
system is
blood
it for again?
on the Nintendo, the
Okay.
1985 NES.
Gotcha. All right. I'm definitely gonna have to get it. Because I know
That is
don't they sell
so fun.
those still? The NES is
They
like
do.
now just at the store. You just go get them.
They, they sell what they call the. It's basically an emulator.
Hmm.
It's on. It's just looks like a Nintendo. It's an emulator system. But they do sell the original ones still, but they're super expensive. If you like if we're saying here, I have a 64.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have
That's
a
mine
Nintendo
right there, man. I
64.
love that.
Um, uh, and I used to have a Super Nintendo, and I don't know what happened to it. Probably long
Yeah.
story short, but yeah, but those games, and I tell my age because I'm talking about Nintendo games and then Super Nintendo games. But absolutely greatest to me, I would say one of the greatest systems for Nintendo. To any Nintendo game, any Nintendo system, like from the Nintendo to the Super Nintendo to the GameCube. I love those. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Super Mario Brothers, guys.
No, no.
You know.
One thing before we go, because we're
Yep.
about to cut it on the
Yep.
hour.
Yep.
One thing I want to one more question I want to have to ask, because I see all the comics behind you. What is your most rare comic, or also even your most favorite? I guess that's two questions, but it could be the same.
Rare. I don't think I really have rare. So the way comic books are rated, of course, by what you call a point system. So you get a 10 is one of the best when you actually is the best condition
Right.
comic
So
books you
kind of
can
like
get.
cards, like if you get them graded.
Correct. So I don't think I have a rare one. Maybe my favorite one and the probably most expensive one are the two, the Batman and Predator. These are graded. Bought them graded.
Oh,
They're actually
nice.
are actually signed by the author.
Oh
Creator
yeah,
signed them.
man.
So this is actually a really cool one. They're graded. This is a 9.0, so it's really
Nice.
good condition. Okay. Um, and this is the other side of it. Basically, is the second one, and it's Batman, and it's also signed. That this was
That's
a
awesome,
7.5,
man.
so it's not too bad. Get into like a 3, that's when you don't really want to have them,
Yeah.
unless they're really rare. And so if you put this together, what happens is they're facing each
Oh
other.
wow, I didn't even notice
Okay,
that.
so they face each other. Okay, if you're a
For
Batman
those who are
fan,
just now only listening, if you're on YouTube or whatever, he is showing two comic graded, comic books, and if you put them two together, it's like a one big like comic book like title, I guess.
the
I
fight
don't know if I
scene,
explained that right. Yeah, the fight scene
like
of
a
that.
fight scene, and then also what I like about it is this is the iconic original Spider Batman, the
Yeah.
long claws and the long ears. But the years came by, they actually made round ears, no claws, because they always want to go for the kids. They want to get to the kids
Oh.
side, just like the original turtles. If you know about the turtles at first, turtles are actually the original comic books are actually for adults, kids, because Leonardo gets his arm bit off from a crocodile. Donatello actually
Yeah.
it gets explodes from falling up from a building. Uh, um, Ralph gets his face blown off. So, anyways, so that's why they introduced colors, because there used to be black and white only.
Right.
Black and white only. That's why they
Wow,
introduced
I didn't know
colors, and
that.
they did the 1985, the 1989 cartoon series was for them to be able to, push that to kids, base their sales, figurines, and all turtles. So that was one of the most biggest franchise ever created to make billions of dollars in sales of comic books, figurines, TV shows, all that. So that's what I like about comic books, because you don't really know like the how it starts off until you get into it and you dive
Right.
into it, and it's a story. So yeah,
Man, you know a
so
lot. You
that's
know a
one.
lot. Don't you have I don't know. I don't want to say it, but do you have a podcast right on comic books?
We
Correct.
we we do. We started a podcast about a month and a half ago with my boy Mike. He is a great collector. Been collecting way before me. He's been collecting 20 years easily. That dude has. You're talking about rare comic books. Really knows
Nice.
about it. But unfortunately, he got COVID about 3 weeks ago.
Ah.
Has been fighting COVID really hard. It's been really
Hmm.
bad on him. He was having a lot of breathing problems, and then actually got better and then relapsed.
Oh
So
man.
we were supposed to have a comic book 2 weekends ago. It's called Comic Book Operators. That's what our podcast is.
Okay.
He's from California, and so me and him, funny, that we met online.
There you go.
I didn't meet him playing video games. I met him on Instagram,
There you
because
go.
he was a collector. I'm a collector. We got to know each other. And he's like, "Yeah, I do play video games too." So we started playing video games, and all
That's
that
how it
stuff.
starts,
But
man.
yeah. So we do have a we do have a comic book podcast. Fortunately, right now we're kind of hiatus because
Right.
recovery is number one. So he's getting better. He's going through lung treatment right now because it damaged his lung really bad. So unfortunately, we don't have that right now, but we're gonna get back into it
We'll get back into it when he gets good.
as long as he gets better.
Hopefully,
Yep,
yeah. Hopefully
appreciate it.
he gets better. His fastest recovery, man. I
Yep,
wish for
thank
him,
you,
man, because
thank you.
I'm looking forward to the future podcast or the future podcast, man.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
But yeah, man, that's it, guys. That is the episode of a Gamers Mike podcast with my boy Iceman, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe, like I said, go show him some love. I got definitely the description, his Twitch channels down below. So twitch.tv/iceman85. And like he said, man, he don't know what he's going to be streaming, but it's going to be a good time. That's all that
Absolutely.
matters. But anything you want to plug before we call it a show?
Anytime, man. Like, first of all, I want to say thank you for thinking of me and
Yeah.
asking me to join your podcast. It means a lot to me. I know your time is valuable. My time is valuable. So just taking your time to actually bringing me into your community, I
Oh yeah, for
appreciate it.
sure, man.
And we always do the support back and forth. Follow me on everything, everything's the same. Iceman85, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, all that. I'm on
Nice.
all platforms, guys. Oh yeah, man. Discounts. I appreciate you, man. Much love.
Of course.
And I guess we can figure out when we can get some games in soon, man. I
That's
know you
right,
kind of
man.
play a little different games than me. I know you like more sports, but I know you do like Apex. So you can run Apex.
Apex, I'm big. I'm before we go though, I'm big into Apex, but the main thing that I like on Apex is the newer modes though, which what's it
Control.
called?
Control.
Control. Well, not that. I haven't even played that yet. But the arenas, man.
Oh,
I
arenas.
love the 3-on-3 action
Yep.
and then the new rounds and everything. So maybe we'll get to play that soon.
Control's even better. It's 3 groups. It's 3.
Oh wow. Okay,
Matter-
maybe we'll play that then.
Huge. Yeah. It's
That's
so fun,
awesome,
man.
man.
Absolutely,
Well,
man. Thank
guys.
you again.
Yes, for sure, man. That's Iceman, and we'll definitely have him on because he's my homie, and like everyone, before him and even after him. If you're on my podcast, man, you are a group. You're a part of my community. So of course, thank you for coming on, and yeah, can't wait to play a little bit of Apex with you soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
For sure, guys. Well, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.